What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Times.
What's up? What's up?
And LeVon Maynard.
Welcome to the show.
What is going on? Welcome to another weekly rundown. So the Friday episode, definitely tune in throughout the week. So Monday we discussed some bad actors out there dropping digital just badness, like framing people, fake evidence.
Right.
I couldn't think of it. What is it? Evidence? Yeah, fake evidence on people's computers and phones and things of that nature. Definitely tune in for that episode. Tuesday, we have a topic about Nintendo aggressively protecting their IP against a hacker, I guess you would call them.
Right.
And how they got him for $65 million in or they believe they've lost $65 million. I think they got him for 4.5 or something like that $1 million in restitution. Definitely check that out. And his last name is Bowser, so it's kind of ironic. Then Wednesday, definitely tune in. We talk about the nonprofit. I want to make sure I get their name correct. I keep tripping over my words. The Cybersecurity Association of Maryland. So CAMI is a nonprofit that's standing up 3 centers of excellence dealing with cybersecurity in the Maryland area. So definitely a good discussion. Tune in for that one on Wednesday. And then Thursday, it's no SSP, but typically that episode is dedicated to someone who's trying to break into cybersecurity and just answering their questions. So it's always good discussion. Pretty lengthy, long form podcasts. Usually those are like 35 to 45 minutes in length. And then obviously you tune in today for the weekly rundown. We don't talk about cybersecurity too much in this one. We talk mostly about movies, books, games, things of that nature. Just what we did for the week. So without further ado, how's everybody's week?
Yeah, mine was pretty good this week. It's pretty tame. Not so much going on, but got a chance to check out some shows, play a couple games. Me and the wife did like a kind of an early kind of Valentine's meal. She actually got me a really nice meal from a popular mail, it's kind of like I want to say like a gift basket type thing where they send food to your house. But it was like frozen. It had like the dry ice inside the package. But essentially it was like these burgers. There's burgers with hickory smoked bacon, caramelized onion. We got some pretzel buns, and then it came with some cheese, like 2 different cheeses, like a Kobe Jack, pepper jack cheese, 2 cheeses, and then what else was there? We got some lettuce and tomato, and we hooked them up today, and it was like off the chain. Oh, it came with like a mac and cheese with I want to say like a tomato, some sort of like sliced tomatoes, something like that inside of it, like I want to say like sun-dried tomatoes, something like that. And it came with a berry cobbler for like the dessert, and it was like off the chain. We put it on the grill, heat up the grill earlier today, made some burgers, had some of the macaroni, and we had some like potato salad on the side, and we just like threw down. It was magnificent, magnifique.
It sounds delicious.
Yeah, it was really good. But besides enjoying some of that food, been watching some shows. Got to check out the most recent episode of Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, like the finale. I thought I enjoyed it. It was an entertaining episode. I mean, a lot of stuff going on. It's like a pretty chaotic, but it kind of wrapped it up to an extent. I mean, if they wanted to, they can end like the whole series right there. But I'm sure they're going to be trying to, as long as it's popular, as long as it's making money, they probably build off of that. I think they already have the Mandalorian is already slated to be coming out with the next season coming up soon.
So let me ask you something though.
Yeah.
Did you think like the second half of that series was more of the setup for Mandalorian's 3rd season than it was really talking about Boba Fett? You know what I mean? Because there was one episode where he wasn't in there at all.
Right. It's definitely definitely a lot of Mando. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a lot of it's kind of catered towards Mando. I think he's obviously the more popular character, and Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And some of the stuff, some of the surprise like guests that popped up in there from the Mandalorian series, I think they really kind of catering it towards like I think the next season, because I know that's the big moneymaker right now, I believe for Disney compared to the Book of Boba Fett, which I don't think got as good as reviews and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't really enjoy it as much until Mando started coming back into the episodes. And I started like enjoying it more. But
Very true.
yeah. So I got to enjoy some of that. I also watched the entire All of Us Are Dead. It's a Korean zombie flick on Netflix. It's just a series, but it's like 12 episodes. I enjoyed it. It's pretty typical, but I said there was some things that came up later that surprised me, and it kind of like I was like, oh man, I didn't see that coming, and it kind of put like a different twist on the whole zombie genre. But I won't reveal it on the episode. Obviously, it's kind of like a spoiler, but it's pretty cool. I think they did a pretty good job on it. And then what else?
I gotta start it. You just convinced me, and I gotta start that one. Thanks.
Yeah. Now you're gonna be like waiting for that twist or whatever. Yeah, but it's pretty good. I think I won't say anything more, but I think they did a pretty good job on it. And then there's something else. What else I was going to mention? I started the Reacher, not the Reacher, the Reacher. And I sort of like to watch the first 2 episodes, and it's really good. I think it kind of makes you chuckle though. It's like it's kind of one of those things where Reacher is like such a like I don't know, I want to call him like an ultra hero. Like he's an expert detective. He's a muscle bound badass. He's like super smart. He can like he knows every martial art technique. He's a veteran and all this kind of stuff. It's like he's like the perfect like specimen, and he's like a bad. He's like but he's like really cocky too, or like he seems like this is the way he talks to people. But then like I think you mentioned it last week, Shannon, and even some of my friends that talked about it too, saying how like he's just a big man. He's so he's huge. He is a huge guy. He's like over 250 pounds.
Mountain of a man, yeah.
Mountain of a man.
So in the Lee Child's books, that is how he is described. He is large, like he is in Reacher. So like the Tom Cruise portrayal. I mean, you do that to get people to go watch him in the theaters, right? Because Tom Cruise is a popular actor.
He's a big name.
He's not 5'6", 150 pounds, right? Like in the Lee Child's books, he is 6'4", 250 pounds, and a mammoth of a man. You know?
That's right. I was watching, and one thing that made me laugh too, just the fact that like he's a big man, of course, but they try to make him look even bigger by casting all these like small people next to him, like the small little black detective guy, and then like this little the girl sheriff, or like whatever she is, but they put like the smallest people like next to him, so he's like he looks even more massive than he really is. Because we met that one black guy in jail, and they were kind of the same build, like size. The other guy wasn't really in shape, but he put all these small people, make him look even bigger. But he's a beast of a man. I think I came across some random article that was showing like his workouts and stuff like that. Like he does some sort of AMRAPs, doing like dips and push-ups and sprints and stuff like that, try to stay in shape, which I need to get back into my fitness routine, because I used to do that all the time, do a lot of the CrossFit exercises and obviously like martial arts training. But he's like, I'm looking at him like, damn, this man's a beast. But the series is pretty good so far. I gotta watch some more episodes. I think it like only thing that kind of not ticks me off, but it's like just like it almost like he seems like too cocky sometimes, and just like he figures out everything like without any like, oh, there's a blade of grass in your shoe. I know this grass only grows in like in the African jungles of Zimbabwe or something. I don't know. Like, wait a minute, what the hell? How do you figure that out from that little thing? He's like too much of a ace detective and all this kind of stuff. But
you definitely have to suspend disbelief when it comes to stuff like that, right?
Right.
Hey, Batman is also the greatest detective. He shouldn't know all that stuff he knows either.
Right. At least Batman has some like technology and stuff. He'd use a scan, like, let me look for the fine grains of sand in this boot, and then figure out what this grain of sand, associated with which beach, or whatever. But no, it's pretty cool though. I think my wife would like it. She hasn't watched it yet, but I think she'd enjoy it. She likes like the detective type stuff, and like a little bit of action. I'm actually surprised too. Shannon liked it so much. There's so much story in there, so much dialogue. I was like, man, it's not a lot of action as much as I expected.
But look, he gets to breaking some people off, man.
Right, he does.
How many
He does.
episodes you watch? How many episodes?
Just like the first two. Yeah.
Okay. He starts breaking people off, man. Like you'll see.
Okay. I'm gonna stay tuned. I'm gonna watch the rest of the series. But yeah, that's the main stuff I've been up to. I played some Halo. I've been working on that, trying to level up in the ranked matches, trying to get that Onyx. I mentioned that a while back, but that's been like the main thing I've been up to, guys. How about you guys? What you been up to, Shannon?
Man, so yeah, I watched Reacher last week. I'm back in my documentary phase. Actually, before I even get to that, Peacemaker. Did you guys finish, or have you?
Yes.
I haven't even started that one
caught
yet.
up.
You haven't started Peacemaker? Okay.
Yeah.
Peacemaker, I watched that one. It's a little weird. As I watched the last one, I was like, man, I don't know. It's more weird now than anything.
Right.
Like I don't know. I can't explain it, but
yeah,
Peacemaker, caught up on that. Righteous Gemstones, that's another one I'm still watching. Ryan, I'm kind of coming over to your side, man, where I want to wait for some of these series to finish their season before I watch them, right? Because it's waiting.
Right. So you just power through it.
Yeah, this waiting week to week stuff is kind of like, man, I don't really want to do that. But yeah, I'm kind of in my documentary phase again, right? So I watched the Janet Jackson documentary. I don't know if you guys have seen it. She's got one out there where it talks about her growing up and whatnot. And her
Right.
life.
My wife started it, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. If you've ever followed her career, you're not gonna learn too much, but still, it's still interesting. What else did I watch? I watched this one called Dr. Death. So I don't know if you guys saw this one with the doctor down in Texas that was the spinal surgeon. He was a neurosurgeon that was messing up spines and their necks and whatnot. And it was like the dude didn't know what he was doing. Yeah.
Oh,
He got convicted a few years ago. This is a real life story, but they got a documentary on it. And they're also doing a drama that's got the guy he was in Dawson's Creek, Joshua Jackson, I think is his name. He was the same one that was in Fringe, if you've ever seen Fringe. He's that same guy.
Okay.
All right. Well,
yeah, have you seen that one? Yeah.
I've heard of all these things. I've not watched.
Yeah. I never watched Dawson's Creek, but when I watched Fringe, I found out he was in Dawson's Creek.
Gotcha.
But
That's crazy.
They got a drama of it, but yeah, this doctor, like, he practiced in Dallas for like 18 months. He had killed 2 people. He had like 38 cases. 33 of them he had maimed the people, like either paralyzed them or permanently disabled them somehow. Like, it was crazy. And he went to these like prestigious schools and whatnot, you know what I mean, like to do his not his residency,
right,
his training and all that. But yeah, Dr. Death is his name. And
but he was a real doctor though.
He was a real doctor. He was a licensed doctor. So like, but the
just
thing
sucked at his job.
That's what they don't really get at, right? So like, there were doctors that worked with him. There was one doctor, he was another surgeon. He was like, by what I saw when I went in there and fixed it, he was like, I was sure this guy had never went to medical school. He was like, some of the stuff he did, like he was taking, so like when you work on the spine, you got to take the bolts and put them in the bone, right, to make them stay there. And he's just like putting them in the muscle. And they talk about he could have been abusing drugs and alcohol. There were some times where people were like, he smelled of alcohol, so he could have been operating drunk. But I actually read I read a long story on him a few years ago. When he was going through the court system, so like 2017 or something like that. I read the story on him, but they had a 4-part documentary that I watched, and I was just like, wow, it was worse than the story I read, right? Because stories come so long to keep your attention, but it's about 4 hours worth of stuff where they were like, nah, he did this, that, and the third, and all this. I was just like, wow, that's crazy, man. But yeah, it was wild. It was wild. What else did I watch? That's kind of it. Like I was actually at work every day this week, so we were on like kind of a COVID schedule, but I was at work every day this week, so I didn't have as much time to sit at home and telework and look up and watch stuff like I could normally do. But yeah, no, it was every week I'm glad I have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I wake up every day.
right.
So yeah,
that's what's up. I didn't do much, as again, like you were saying, just worked all week. I did catch up on Peacemaker. it doesn't seem weirder than than any other episode.
Maybe not. You might be right, but this last one, I was
Yeah.
just like, man, that's weird. Like, I don't like, I don't know.
But I think next week is the finale, so that you can just power through it, LeVon. I don't remember there being an episode where I was bored, but now you could just, you know what I mean, you watch 3 at a time if you want to.
Right.
But I don't know where they go to next is the thing. Like it feels like maybe the arc is, in case it didn't get picked back up, you're like, all right, well, I made a complete season that branches off of the movie. But like it seems to be getting really good reviews, so I'll be surprised they don't do a season 2 of Peacemaker. What else? There was a show. Oh, Ozark. So Ozark, I'm on season 2, like mid-season, season 2. So I'm powering through that one. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I don't think it's Breaking Bad. I don't know. Maybe I just have nostalgia for Breaking Bad. It's really good. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good series. But it sometimes stuff happens that be like, everyone is dumb. You know what I mean? Like, at least in Breaking Bad, it felt like he was clever enough to get over on people, yada, yada, yada. This one, just like Power, when I was watching Power, I was like, these are the worst detectives ever. Like, how are you so bad at your job? That's how I kind of feel in Ozark. It's like, you had him. Had him, and then he just slipped through somehow. You're like, how is your detective work so shoddy? Maybe that's the way it really is. I don't know. It's
Right.
It's still good though. I'm enjoying it. Very dark humor. I think there's 4 seasons, maybe 4 seasons. 4 seasons.
Yeah.
It has 2 parts or something like that. So I plan on getting through it. Maybe for the month's over, I might actually power through it. I've been watching anime wise Attack on Titan. And that's one of the ones where I wish I had waited till it was over, because every episode is either good or bad to me. The second to last episode was straight fire. This last episode, I felt like Shannon. I was like, there's too much story. Why are we talking? Why? Turn into giant titans and fight each other, right? Like, get back to the main storyline. Like, I'm tired of this flashback nonsense. So that one's coming to an end. This is the final season of that as well. So I'm assuming there might be a few more episodes, and that one's done forever. I need to jump on We're All Dead. Like, I've been meaning to watch it anyway, but now you said there's a good twist in there. Only 12 episodes. I could probably watch a good. Is it like an hour-long episode?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Okay, I could probably watch like 4. If it was shorter, I was like, I could watch like half of it today.
Right.
But yeah, I can't do a whole 12-hour marathon. So I'll watch a quarter of it today. I'm actually thinking about actually taking a break this weekend and not doing much. So I'll do that.
Yeah.
I played Halo some more. Definitely enjoying it. It's a really good campaign. Like, I wish I had more time in my day to kind of power through it, because stuff's gonna, like, it's been out for a while, so stuff's gonna start hitting my timeline. I kind of want to beat it to the punch before people just outright spoil it. And I'm finally going to buy a game, right? I want a gift card at a tournament, and I'm debating between Sifu for PlayStation, which is a beat 'em up with some really hardcore mechanics. I don't know if you guys are tracking Sifu, but the penalty to death is you get to respawn, but you're older. And the older you get, the less damage you can take, but the more powerful your techniques are. And each time you die, the penalty is you respawn as an older person. And then once you hit the age of 65, you can't respawn anymore. Or is it 70? It's either 65 or 70. You can't respawn anymore. That's game over. 5 levels, 5 bosses. And it looks like the raid or something like that, like fighting style. Like, it's just, you're one person and you're after whoever killed your sensei or your father or something. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
And then it's just anybody can take you out basically before you get to the boss. And he's like, the videos just show this dude just murdering people, just talking about like Ip Man punches to the face. He's like hitting people in the head with bottles. Like, he's like, it looks cool. So I'm debating between that one and a Pokemon game that just came out. So Pokemon Legends Arceus, I think it's like an open world Pokemon game. I know I'm kind of old.
Hmm.
But it's what you always wanted from a Pokemon game. You know what I mean? Like usually they're very linear experiences. You can't do certain things in certain pathways. Like this one takes place in the past. So like you get teleported to a time before Pokemon were domesticated. So like you're out there like the wild. You see this dude just running from Pokemon, like they're like chasing him down.
Run away. Yeah.
And like Pokemon are like attacking him. I was like, I can kind of get down with that. Like
Right.
a friend of mine said he went to a village and the villagers didn't venture too far from the village because they were scared of Pokemon. It's too wild out there. They're like, we don't go too far out of our village.
Leave the village. Pokemon coming to get you.
Yeah.
The Pikachu.
So I'm like, that's kind of interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to being a trainer, like you just a kid getting hunted down by Pokemon.
I know those Pokemon are dangerous though. I mean, I don't know how they were like, I don't know, they were like subservient to like all the humans that were just like, or the human kids that were like capturing them in balls, but they had like electric abilities. They had like Hitman Chan, Hitman Lee. Yeah, all these like, you know,
you get punched out.
You get knocked out by a Pokemon. I'm like, shoot, don't get it twisted.
There's gotta be some Rottweiler Pokemons out there that don't want to be in balls no more. Don't want to be in Pokemon.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Rottweilers don't want to be on a chain anymore. They're like, hey man, I'm done with that. You know what
exactly.
I mean? Something like Pikachu, I choose you. No, don't shock me.
Right, don't shock me. Don't kill me. I know. All these Pokemon had super abilities. Like, I don't know. They could have been the masters of the humans. Like,
right, exactly.
So
So debating between those two. I don't know if I want to do the beat 'em up or I want to do because either one of them is going to give me, a good experience. But I rarely buy games full price, so I got to kind of, I'm cheap, so I got to pick. I got to pick one. The two totally different experiences. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of partial to going with the Pokemon though, because I want to play my Switch. I've really been on my Switch in months, so that would definitely capture my attention. Yeah, something I can do passively before I go to bed, as opposed to playing a beat 'em up and getting all wired up and frustrated before it's time to go to bed. So we will see. Aside from that, like, it's Valentine's Day week. I'm overseas, so I already scheduled all my stuff. I got deliveries heading out, so get stuff there on time. I already got my stuff. It's in a box. I haven't opened yet, so I'm waiting till tomorrow to open it up. So not staying up for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl for me would be middle of the night, like 2:00 in the morning. People are like, I did that last year. I'm not doing it again. If the Bills were playing, oh man, I would have no choice. I would have to be up. But
you would have
Bengals versus the Rams. Yeah, I would have. I gotta take leave. I gotta go. The Bengals versus the Rams. I'm not staying up for that. I watched the highlights. Like I know somebody who's is waking up for the halftime show. That'll be on YouTube. I'll watch it on YouTube. It's fine.
Out of those two teams, do you have one that you're going for?
I want to see the Bengals actually win, only because they kind of backed away into it. You know what I mean? Like, so you there, like, go ahead and take it.
And I want to see them get smashed. I'm a Ravens fan. Nobody in my division. So here's the thing, and I'll tell you why. Right. So like for me, Joe Burrow acted like he did something against our JV defense this year, like when everybody was hurt. So for me, I'm like, okay, yeah. And like you said, Ryan, they backed into it, right? Like the Raiders didn't deserve to be there, they beat them, right? The Titans gave it to them. I mean, Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times through 3 interceptions. Started with an interception, ended with an interception, to give him the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Patrick Mahomes had to have the worst half in his career for them to come back and win with like 3 seconds left. I just don't think that's going to happen with the Rams. Like I'm saying 24-10, they are going to smash them. Rams are going to smash the Bengals 4-10. It's not going to be entertaining. People are going to be like, "Oh, this is awful. Y'all don't belong." That's my hope.
Right. The playoffs were I was glad to have watched the playoffs. The playoffs, like, this was a really good season for playoff games. I'm super not disgruntled, but change the halftime or change the overtime rules. Like, everybody wants to see that change. Please do. Change the overtime
Hey,
rules.
man, look, the defenses get paid too, man. Leave it how it is. I say leave it how it is. I'm probably in the minority, but like, and I know
Right.
I know it hurts your heart, Ryan, because you were on the wrong, you're on the wrong end of it with the Bills. I get it, man, because that was a really good game. That was
right.
a
Right.
really good game. I was just like, woo.
Right.
So, but we'll see. We'll see if anything changes. I get it. And you don't want them on the field longer than they have to be because it's full contact sport, right? So you don't want them to keep playing indefinitely and somebody gets hurt. But like it comes out to a coin flip typically. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. What else? Yeah, I'm not watching Super Bowl. That's not going to happen. The halftime show does look like it's going to be dope. I watch it on YouTube. It's fine. Aside from that, like just catching up on work, and I wanted to see Murder on the Nile because I thought it was streaming and in theaters because it's playing here. So I was like, oh, I watched that. It's Gal Gadot and a few other stars. I always like those murder mysteries, like Murder in the Orient Express, stuff like that. It's just fun movies to watch. But I'm not going to theater to see that one. Like they should have put that on HBO Max. So I gotta wait now. It's not worth the exposure for that guy. So we will see. I guess I'm gonna watch that zombie joint. I gotta watch that today. You watched the Nintendo Direct? Anybody see that? Like the last Nintendo Direct that came out? It was pretty good. Yeah, Nintendo dropped a few bangers. They got 48 more Mario Kart courses coming out.
I heard about that.
So you either get 48 courses for $24 over the course of 2 years, like you just pay $24, and as they release, they're all courses that are being remastered from old Mario Karts that people wanted to play. So there'll be a total of 96 tracks for the current Mario Kart, which is pretty impressive.
So wait a minute, hold on. You're saying they're remasters though? So like these are courses they already came out with?
Yeah, for like if you played a specific course on like the DS, like they've remastered it to be a course that you can play on the Switch. So they updated graphics. They basically have brought back classics that people wanted to play anyway into this one. So this one's becoming kind of like the Smash Bros of Mario Karts. Like anything that you wanted to play in the past, you can play now in this current configuration.
This is definitely how they were staying profitable then.
Because they got me. I haven't played Mario Kart in like a year. I'm like 48 more tracks. You got me. Yeah, probably the rate on return, like you're thinking, is probably pretty high because it's already something that was built. They just had to polish up. Some stuff had to be rebuilt though. Like there's certain courses that you like that they got to redo that one because it's like from like Game Boy Advanced Mario Kart. They had to bring it over, rebuild it. But yeah, all the assets and stuff like that already exist, right? So all they're doing is just reconfiguring stuff, changing shaders, things of that nature. But they got me because either you pay them $25 and they'll release it like they do the Smash characters over the course of a couple of years, or you get the Nintendo Online Plus subscription, so that a premium subscription, and then you just get them as they release. So they're building value in their subscription as well, but they're doing it in a very Nintendo way. So.
Right.
But I don't have a complaint with having a subscription, right, to give people access to things, but they're not giving you access to anything new that you have not seen, right? You just haven't seen it on this platform, right? You haven't seen it in this generation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
it's a re-release basically. It's kind of like
how long is that going to keep people happy, right? They'll be like, they may play it 2 or 3 times and then be like, oh yeah, I remember, I remember what this looked like. Okay, yeah, it looks good now, but it's not. It's not.
Oh no, it's the hype to go with it too. Like, so they're extending the game that you already bought, so you don't have to worry about buying Mario Kart 9, I guess, for the next couple of years because they're going to keep dropping tracks on you. And then every direct, they're going to be like, and these 4 tracks are being released. You know what I mean? Like they do the Smash characters. They're like, oh, and this character's being released. So they got that going for them. So they're working on it, like very small incremental Nintendo-like steps. They never do anything too crazy. Like it's slowly building upon whatever they currently have. But they did show something. So they showed the Mario Kart tracks are dropping. They showed a new Wii Sports, which I'm pretty excited about. So I'll be out there playing tennis and bowling again. That's going to be a thing. So they got me there. Like Nintendo always got me. Like nothing they could do that will make me too mad where I won't come back. They showed some old games they're bringing back, like Earthbound 1 and 2. Live Alive is an RPG I never heard of before. It's made by the guy who made Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger. They're bringing back Chrono Trigger. What else was in the direct? New Mario soccer game, Strikers. For this generation, they're bringing back Strikers, which I never played, but I was always interested in playing. It's just Nintendo games don't go on sale, so I'm like, I don't feel like dropping $60 right now. Like I'll wait for it to go on sale, and like it never does. It never happens.
Get it used on eBay or something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I probably have to. What else was in the direct? It was pretty good though. Like they had a lot of games, a lot of stuff I'm not interested in, but people are. So there'll be like Fire Emblem spin-offs and stuff like that. Don't really do it for me. Xenoblade Chronicles they're coming out with the third one. It's like a really big RPG on the Switch. Never played it. So they had pretty much something for everybody. So I was pretty interested. They had you ever play Rocket League or see somebody play Rocket League? Like they have a version of that of soccer for you put the strap on your leg and you put the Wii mode in it so you can kick the ball.
Yeah,
real Nintendo gimmicky things.
I saw that.
That's why I didn't like the Wii though. Like I had to do too much moving. Like if I'm gonna sit down and do video games, I want to sit down and be lazy about it, right? Like
no man, they're trying to get your fitness up. Like, remember the Wii balance board? I had one of them.
I don't need that.
Nintendo be giving me.
Shannon, like I don't need that.
Nintendo be taking my money. It's fine though.
Yeah,
I'm used to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm kind of like on the opposite end of the spectrum a little bit. I mean, I got love for Nintendo, but I need some new content. I need something like, I mean, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out pretty soon. I know it's gonna be pretty hot. Should be some fresh stuff in there, but I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan like that. I mean, there's like it's cool, but doesn't really doesn't jump out at me when I hear they're gonna release more tracks for Mario Kart. You know, they're gonna add the old tracks. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I played those tracks before, like on the original Mario Kart and like the Mario Kart Wii and all these other like Mario Kart DS or whatever versions of Mario Kart they had. I think I played most of them. So I'm not really super excited about some new tracks, but I can understand a lot of like dedicated fans that have played, they played the game for years and big fan with a lot of the older tracks will jump on that pretty quick. But I'll probably I'll probably save my money until like I hear something like crazy. It's like, oh, this track's got so much crazy content in it. It's like, I don't know, it's phenomenal. Right. Something that sells me on the track itself. Like, I don't know, especially I don't know, a lot of these companies, they end up really trying to like milk like some content, like they try to get you all these DLCs and more DLCs. I know we talked about Destiny the other day. I like Destiny. I haven't really been playing as much lately. And they have like it feels like a paywall behind a lot of content. You gotta put your membership fee in before you want to get the new latest and greatest weapon, or like get the extra level or get the extra like this or that. It's not like the old days you buy the game, you got everything everything that came with the game in one purchase. You don't have to worry about buying extra accessories down the line just to keep playing the game.
Right. But I think for me, because I don't put as much time in the video game playing anymore. Like maybe I just don't. For myself, I just don't want to justify that cost. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, even though it's just $25, like, yeah, I got $25, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna spend a lot of time doing it. I'm like, why am I spending it? You know what I mean?
Right. That's how I feel too.
Yeah. So to come to Nintendo's defense, because I'm a Nintendo fanboy, I think Nintendo games give you more of a complete experience off the rip, right? So like the first iteration of Mario Kart, what are we on, 8? I think it's 8, came with 48 tracks. And now that's a pretty complete, robust game. And then they had a little bit of DLC, but they never beat you over the head. Like they never do like a Mass Effect where you don't get a whole character. You know what I mean? Like you got to wait a couple weeks and then we'll give you a whole character with his own story arc. Like they typically give you a full experience, because even the Breath of the Wild content was very full, very robust. And they're like, here's some additional things you don't really need that you can buy from us, like some quality of life type stuff. Like I think they had like in one of the DLCs, you can retrace your steps. You can see like all the places you've already been, so you can figure out what you have not discovered. You don't need that, but it'd be nice. So we'll add it. We'll charge you for it. Basically, it's never like you don't get a whole zone. You remember, like they're like, you got to buy the Korok seeds. Like you're not going to discover them until you give us $5, and then they'll appear. So I give them that. They kind of like even Smash, like Smash Bros came with I don't remember how many characters were on the screen, and then they released more characters over time. But you were good with what you had. Like I didn't buy any of those characters. I still had a pretty good experience.
It's
Unlike most games, it feels like they take something away. Like your Call of Duties and stuff like that. Like we built it, but we're just not going to ship it with the game. But we'll see. Like if it's lucrative, Nintendo might do the same thing. They'd be like, all right, Breath of the Wild only has half of the map is available. You got to buy the other half.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know what you said that sparked this. For you, just reminded me of something else I watched this week that I should have listened to you, but I watched it anyway. Was Mortal Kombat, the new Mortal Kombat? Yeah, I should have listened to you, man.
Oh. Yeah. But it didn't the opening get you? Were you like, oh, this is gonna be great?
Yeah.
Actually,
the opening scene I was like, okay, there's gonna be something to this, but then it was just like,
and then it was trash after that. I was like, it was like two different movies. Yeah. Because I was like, if it's gonna be like this for the whole movie,
right?
No, they're like, nope. That was get you to not walk out.
Right.
It was very forgettable. I forgot I even watched it. I don't even know what you just said to make me think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I watched Mortal Kombat, but I should have.
No, it was not good. Like they just need to do a movie about that. I mean, there's a sequel coming out. They said that for whatever reason, they're making a sequel to this movie. I'm just like, well, when you do that, do the first 5 minutes of the first movie, but turn that into a movie by itself. Like, don't.
Right. Yeah.
Because this is garbage.
Yeah.
And then I went back, like, so we did back to back because that day we didn't have a lot of work or whatever. Like it was like a down day. So I brought it in to watch. So we all watched it together in my work center. And we were like, was the first movie terrible like that from our childhood? So we went back and watched the Mortal Kombat that came out when we were kids, and it was better. And then we watched the sequel to that one, and that was trash. That was trash.
I don't remember the first one being that good either, though.
It's better than this. At least there was a tournament.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what is this?
Right. An actual tournament, right?
Terrible. That's what it is. So we'll see. Like maybe the sequel will be a tournament this time, but they killed off people I want to see in the tournament.
Right. Yeah.
And they made up a guy.
Yeah, they can't do those fatalities and like have them in the second film now,
No, man, they need a reboot. Like just start over. Let's do it again.
Right.
But I think that pretty much wraps up for this episode. Thank you for leaving on a depressive note, Shannon.
It made me think about it.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I should not have done that. Yeah.
Yeah. You could have just quit though. Like, but I always feel committed. Like once I get so deep into a movie, I'm like, I gotta finish it. I never could just walk away, but we could have just walked away.
I'm with you, man. Like I don't know. I've never walked out of a theater on a movie either. Like, so like if I pay money, I'm like, man, I'll get it in. Like, okay, this seat's comfortable. I'll just take a little nap or something.
Right. Yeah.
I'll do something like that. And like at home, even like I can't think of a time where I'm just been like, it's probably happened a few times where I've just like been, no, I'm not going to continue this. But if I start it, I at least got to say, man, I watched it and it was terrible. But I'm very picky about what I watch, right? Because usually I'm a very good character based off the trailers or Ryan's opinion. So if Ryan's like, oh, this is good, I say, oh no, that's not for me.
No, that's not good.
Yeah, but you said this was bad. I should have listened. I'd be like, okay, well, it's definitely not for me then. If Ryan says it's bad,
it was terrible. It was definitely terrible. I think I walked out on the Tooth Fairy because one of my kids got scared. I can't remember if it was my oldest or junior, but one of them, like there was a scene, like there was some kind of transformation or something like that. It just, with their brain was just like, no, we got to go. We got to get out of here.
With Vin Diesel?
No, it
The
was
Rock?
The Rock with The Rock.
Rock?
Yeah, yeah. There's a because it's a kid movie, but it was like maybe they were too little to watch it. I can't remember, but
Hmm.
I was a little heated. I was like, I done bought the snacks.
The $70
We
worth
had
of
to,
snacks.
yeah, we had to leave. We had to leave that one. And then there was I didn't leave, but people walked out of oh man, it was like either The Wrong Turn or it was a thriller horror type movie, and it had a very realistic rape scene. And people got up and walked out the audience. Like the audience members walked out of the
Wow.
theater. I was like, wow, because I felt uncomfortable watching it too. I was like, this is the most graphic depiction I've seen in a movie. This is only rated R. It's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, people walked out of it. I was like, okay, I get that. There was another movie people walked out. What was it? It was Deadpool. Yes, yeah, it was Deadpool because people walked out with their kids. Like there was a warning, like don't bring your kids. It was like a few families walked out of Deadpool, and I made it funnier to me.
It's rated R.
It's rated R. It's rated R, but there was a sex scene in it. I can't remember if it was. I think it was the first one, but there was like, and Deadpool was wild, so it just kept going and going and going.
Yeah, they had
People
different holidays or whatever.
Yes, yeah, it was that one. And people got up with their families and stormed out of the theater.
Stormed out. I can't imagine. It's so crazy. Just somebody like not realizing what Deadpool was like.
Yeah, like the one mom was like, "Come on,
come on, are you kidding me? Oh, I can't believe this."
Like in the trailer, he was like, "Don't bring your kids."
Right.
So she was fine with all the cussing though.
Yeah, it was that sex scene, but it was more than just her because there was like later on another family walked out. Like it's just because it just kept getting raunchier and more violent, and I don't know what they expected. I don't know. They didn't watch a trailer, they didn't read a review, so they stormed out.
Yeah, they definitely don't know what Deadpool's about.
Yeah,
right. This seems so silly to me, but
that's right. Yeah, but that's the only time I've seen those type of experiences. But yeah, the only time I left for movies because one of my kids was like, "Nope, nope to that." We had to roll out. But yeah, man, Mortal Kombat. You should have walked out of your own house. Like, come on, just yell, "Come on!" and then walk out.
TV still playing.
Well, hilarious. But yeah, that wraps up for this episode. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, LeVon. It's always a great experience, great week. Definitely, if you're listening or watching, please tune in throughout the week. If this is the only episode you watch, definitely check out our topics, our discussions. Share with your friends, like, share, all that good stuff. I always forget to say. Subscribe, all the things. Hit us up on the website, www.theothersideofthefirewall.com, so you can tell all of our social medias. Definitely hit us up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and Clubhouse.
The Clubhouse, yeah.
And you, LeVon?
Yeah, you can hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe, stay secure.
Take care.